I said, all right, ring around me. And then we met, and we've been locked in ever since, man. Give it up for my boy from Just Be Unlimited, Justin Butler. Let's go. Woo!
Hi, Just Be. Yo, thank you so much. Appreciate y'all for coming out tonight. It means a lot to your business, to the community, and to yourselves to take these kind of steps, to listen to one another, to bounce ideas off one another. It's what I do all day, every day. I call myself a map maker. I'm a cartographer first. That's what I do, is I help people draw their maps to where they're trying to get to, whatever their goals may be, which actually brought us to successes. I remember I brought Art on a while back, a couple of years ago. We started working together probably, I'm gonna date myself now, about 23 years ago we started working together when I founded Vegas Heads here in town. We were the first online hip hop forum and network community here in Las Vegas. Everyone got their page. We brought people together. We started working with the city. We did the first graffiti murals in town, sponsored by the Clark County Parks and Rec at Extreme Thing at the park. We got some of the best artists together, and we really changed a lot of the way that organizations looked at hip hop and the hip hop community, and really opening up pathways, because we stopped just looking at our own path and we started looking at what we could do together. And we started looking at, if we came together as a community, we would be able to build a community that would have respect and would have opportunity. And it wouldn't just be a bunch of motherfuckers fighting each other over scraps that were thrown to us. And what I see today, when I see people coming up here and still talking about representing the elements and growing that way, but also talking about the entrepreneurialism, right? The 9 elements that we talk about. One of those being street entrepreneurialism, fashion, design, the sort of things that we're out here trying to do to really make our lives better and the people around us better. That's where it all started and where it was supposed to go to. And for whatever else place people may be in, or the community may be in, or the national scene may be in, the fact that we're here today, the fact that we've been getting together, that I heard something closer to like maybe even 600 maybe people are at least paying attention and part of this community. That means the world. That means that it's working. It means that what we're trying to do makes a big difference. And so give a second just to give it up for yourselves. Because you all deserve it. You all deserve it to see me coming out. I sat down with Art about 2 years ago, I think now, when I hired him on. I was running a global marketing agency. I grew it from, it was a high 6-figure company. We grew it to a mid 7-figure company, got on the Inc. 5000 list 2 years in a row. That's the Inc. magazine list of the 5,000 fastest growing companies in the United States. We were on there in 2024 and 2025. I've helped over 100 businesses reach hundreds of millions of people, turn it into billions of dollars into growth, reach the kind of goals that they wanted to do. The way that we do that, and the way that you all do that on every level that you work on, is talking about your audience and understanding who your audience is. And I play this little game with groups that I talk to and clients that I talk to. And I want to play it here, and just when you take it back and when you take this away with you, think of your businesses and think of your audience. But right now I'm going to think of yourselves. So every one of you, I want to ask, how many of you have a cell phone in your pockets? Hands up, just easy. All right.
In my pocket specifically?
Or on the table or in your hand. Or maybe you're staring at it right now while I'm talking. But how many of you are attached to a cell phone, right? How many of y'all drove by a billboard today? Did anybody see a billboard? Anybody turn on a podcast in the last week? What about the radio? Anybody still turn on the radio? I turned on 88.1 when I came into town. So happy to hear it's still going. I grew up on that. It's still jamming. That was my favorite. I had some people that I came into town with. Turned it on. It still plays just like it used to. Anybody seen a newspaper lately?
Hell no.
They're out there. No? What about that news app where you accidentally swipe to the right on your cell phone when you open up, you get all the news stories coming up? Anybody see the news stories?
Yeah.
Right, we see it. Anybody on X?
Yeah.
What about Instagram?
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Pinterest?
No. Ready?
Your auntie's on Pinterest, just so you know. People are on there. We on Facebook?
Yeah.
Facebook groups? Yeah? All right. Reddit? There's so many. So one of the things that I hear all the time when clients come to me, they sit down and they say, let me ask you this one last one. Anybody heard of Google?
Yeah.
Have you used it? You have, right? So they come to me and they say, hey, we're going to advertise on Google. Well, we already did that, but it didn't work. Yeah, we're going to try and build a social media campaign, but they don't work. They don't work because nobody's on Facebook. I've heard that all the time. Facebook is dead, just like Vegas is dead, right? Except it took me almost an hour to get here from the south side of the strip because it's so not dead. Facebook's not dead. 2 billion people are on there. They say only 10% are fake. Let's say half of them are fake. So there's 1 billion real people on one platform. All right? I think that's enough. But we start looking at our tech mix, when we start looking at our communication mix, we have to all understand. Every one of you raised your hands for 90% of the things that I said, and I didn't even get halfway there. How many outlets of media are you all communicating through every single day? You're going to get advertisements thrown at you on every single one of them. What you got to ask yourselves, are you on any one of those speaking to your audience? Now, you don't need to be on all of them, but definitely don't just be on one of them. So what we do is we sit down and we build a persona, right? And a persona is a little different than just a demographic marker. And we look at our audience oftentimes and we say, I'm trying to reach this age group in this city that makes this amount of money. Right? Have you all done that for your businesses? Figured out your demographic of who you're reaching? If not, at least start there. But then take it further and we start to understand who is the actual individual we're talking to. And this is where we get back to that connection that we had right in the beginning. You should be having a connection with your audience, with the people that you're trying to talk to. And the only way to do that in a world where, seriously, 20 years ago, it was 5,000 advertisements a day that you interacted with. That was before social media, and that was before smartphones were attached to our pockets. Nowadays, it's closer to 15 or 20,000 advertisements a day. If that's going on, how are you actually reaching your audience? How do you actually expect to grow a clothing brand that has heart and soul and thought behind it? Has all the potential in the world to be a huge brand and change lives, but it'll be nothing if you don't get to actually reach the audience. If they don't know about you, it's not going to work. All right, is anybody old enough to remember the movie Field of Dreams? Anybody know the motto there? If you build it, they will come. Anybody remember who actually came? Ghosts. It was nothing but ghosts. Because all they did was build it. They didn't actually market it. They built it, and nothing but ghosts showed up. If all you're doing is building, and you're not actually telling the people about what it is that you do, the only ones that will show up are ghosts. So learn your people, learn your audience, be one of them, speak to them, and find out how they're communicating. Once you can stand in their shoes and pick up their phone, you'll understand where they're communicating. 4 primary steps. How do they get their news? How do they get their entertainment? How do they do their work? And how do they communicate with friends and family? Once you figure out those things, you'll be able to understand how to really communicate to your audience, and you'll see that true growth.